Welcome to Pillar Parkour and FREERUNNING.
I first started parkour in 2009.
How long I've been doing parkour, I base off of when I made my first video. I made it like in June 2012, so I'm coming up on 6 years.
So I kind of picked up parkour from YouTube. There's a guy named Whtspce, or Ronnie Street Stunts. Anyways, he made a film with another guy called Devin Supertramp, yeah. And they made an Assassin's Creed video. And I remember like 4 years ago I watched it, and that's how I got into it.
Drove me to do it was I used to do Taekwondo, and I moved to college, so I was away from that, so I couldn't keep doing that. And my brother showed me this one of the original parkour videos that got around called Russian Free Climbing with Oleg, I think Vorslav. And I saw that, I'm like, man, that's the thing I want to do.
Pretty much my whole life I've just been jumping on stuff and basically doing parkour, but not knowing like proper technique or anything.
Why did I choose parkour over every other sport? I didn't really know if there was a real reason. I just I did like soccer and basketball, but I don't know, they never really stuck, and I don't know, I guess I just thought it was kind of cool, so I decided to give it a try.
To me, the appeal of parkour is kind of like having the freedom to kind of do anything you can imagine. Every other sport, there's like so many rules and like it's strict, you have to do exactly this. Like even gymnastics, there's so many rules to follow. Like you know, you have to have like perfect technique. But in parkour, that's not as important. It's more about like expressing yourself and like doing the best you can do, and no one really judges you.
Pillar Parkour started initially as the team for Richmond, our own little team, while we were running the VCU club. And then once we dissolved the club's relations to the college and expanded to be a greater Richmond city group, that's when we turned the whole thing into just Pillar. And it grew into a business and a gym and all that from there.
So I found Pillar so my friends who live like near DC, they started going to Urban Evolution, another gym out there. And then, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to see if there are any other gyms, you know, Virginia, Richmond area. And yeah, I guess I've been at Pillar for about 3 years as well.
I didn't realize there was like anyone around me for the longest time. I always thought that I was like pretty lonely in Virginia. And but one day in like 2015, late 2015 I think, one of my neighbors went to GymQuest though, and I was like, okay, I guess I want to go and train there just to do some flips and stuff. And then Casey was there teaching a class, and I was like, oh, okay. And so we, I don't know, we hung out for a while, and then we started training there like every Friday.
I think the future generations taking parkour are gonna just keep running with it. Gyms are a pretty new thing, and they've already expanded and grown the sport like crazy in the past decade. And I think it's just gonna keep going from there.
Future generations, I think it's gonna be a lot more technical flips and stuff. I think that's the direction things are really starting to go.
Europe's already getting public parkour parks, and along with all the gyms that are growing. So I'm excited to see that day when I can just take my kid down to the local parkour park in the day and just relax, and then, you know, maybe take him to the gym at night.
Obviously more difficult, high level like flips and stuff like that too, but also more high level parkour, more like stuff on skyscrapers, like store kind of stuff, and just more technically difficult things to do. Everything's just gonna get better.
I don't know, it'll probably become a lot more like competitive. Like recently there's been like, you know, a lot of competitions popping up with like, I don't know, FIG or whatever, so it'll probably be a lot more just competitive and more people doing it.
So what is your opinion on FIG? That whole situation.
Boy. Big.
Ho-ho! My opinion on FIG.
So, I don't like FIG.
Parkour is not gymnastics. FIG should stay where it is and stop trying to take something that's not theirs and claim it as their own.
They're trying to make parkour into something it's not. Like, since its inception, parkour has been like about like freedom and like being able to do whatever you can and like whatever you want. And FIG is trying to take that and make rules for it, which is something that just doesn't go along with what parkour is, at least to me.
It doesn't matter if you've got the founder of parkour on your side. He abandoned the communities years ago. Just remember his legacy, don't look at what he's doing now. We are not gymnastics.
And I just think that is stupid and annoying because they're trying to take over something that's close to my heart, and I'm not okay with that.
Their first speed course they made got cheesed by good parkour athletes who just ran along the top of all their obstacles and crushed what the people thought the course was gonna be. Fight the FIG. Hashtag.
The difference between parkour and FREERUNNING, I heard an analogy once, I think describes it pretty well. So if parkour is the same thing as riding a bike, then FREERUNNING is like BMX.
I'd say for a lot of people, FREERUNNING is definitely more like flips, tricking, and just self-expression. And I guess parkour, is more about efficiency, really.
FREERUNNING is kind of like you're using parkour as a medium to do like flips and tricks and stuff. Because FREERUNNING, apparently, from what I understand, was just a bad translation of the word parkour from French. And so that's how it became a separate word. People kind of just twisted around what the meanings were, and now it's at the level that it is today, where it's parkour is only jumping and climbing and stuff, and FREERUNNING is only like doing flips.
believe I'll keep doing parkour my entire life for many reasons. One, it's a big passion of mine. I've dedicated the past 9 years of my life to it.
I think I'll definitely keep doing parkour like as long as I possibly can. Because you know, people always try and like push the whole take care of your body thing a lot more in parkour, and I think that's pretty important even if I'm not great about it.
I definitely know I will be doing parkour for probably as long as my legs are, you know, still working and aren't dead.
A lot of people are worried when they first see parkour. Well, you're ruining your body, you're damaging yourself. That's the irresponsible, I'm going to say, poor athletes. They're thinking about just doing the biggest stuff without the consequences, and they ruin their knees, their ankles, their wrists, whatever. Parkour is about building yourself to be strong.
But I imagine like once I start getting a little bit older and I start feeling the effects more, it's definitely going to have to become more of like a prevalent thing in my training. It's like prehab and, you know, strengthening exercises, stretching, things like that, to see and just keep doing it as long as I can, because that's all I really want to do at this point.
People like Sebastian Foucan, he was one of the first people to start, and he's still training. He's going to be at Beast Coast this year, which I'm excited about to hopefully meet him, and he is old for a parkour athlete. I want to say he's late 40s, early 50s, and he's still just tearing it up, being a badass.
Alright. Cool, yeah, that's pretty much all we have time for.
Alright.
That's good.
Alright.